Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I didn't get around to doing anything yesterday. As soon as I got in office, I got busy. So, yeah, that it is what it is. You know, we've been waiting on new stuff to come in, but I don't think I got much going on for the rest of the week. But let me check my Palm Pilot and see what I got going on. Not shit. Okay, anyway. Sorry. Most of you probably have no idea what I was referencing there. But anyway, so we have the RGSlide. It came in yesterday, and my wife sent me a picture of the package that got dropped off, and I was like, holy shit, that's a massive package. Something I didn't like, Anbernic, is why the hell are you putting what's in the package on the label? I mean, it's got to be like a customs thing, right? Like, to prevent them from opening it so they can just look up what it is. I have no idea, all right? If any of you know custom stuff, hit the comments and let me know why they do that. But, I mean, it's not like anybody can just walk up and see what's in it. You know, it says Anbernic RGSlide, no SD card. You know, it's a select group of people that don't know exactly what the hell that is. But it gives you something to Google. You can look it up, see what it is, what it costs, and then steal it from my porch. But I live in a small town, and nobody's crazy enough to try and steal anything from my house. I promise you that, because every time I get new neighbors, I do the same thing. Okay? And I've talked about this before. My daughter has one of those, you know, winter hats that has like the animal, and then it has like the long little paws that hang down. You put your hands in, like little mitts attached to a beanie. I'll throw that shit on. I'll step out, wear nothing but a wife beater, like basketball shorts, shoes, socks pulled up, and I'll put that hat on, and I'll step out in my driveway with one of my automatic weapons, or sorry, semi-automatic weapons, and yeah, say hi to new neighbors when they move in. So everybody thinks I'm just completely fucking crazy around my house, and they leave me the hell alone. It's what I prefer. So, anyway, let's get into this. So, yeah, if you order the slide, they're going to put what it is on the outside of the package. So if you're in an area where you have issues with porch pirates, be prepared for that. Okay? They're going to steal whatever anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But this is the box. This is a huge box, bro. This thing is, yeah, it's all there. I will say they did amazing with the packaging. It felt like opening a INEO or AYN device. Because they have this little cover that sits over it. And there's a black envelope in here that has a screen protector. I am notoriously bad with screen protectors. The sponsor of our channel and my brother, he loves to send me pictures of new handhelds he gets, and he's always like, look, screen protector, perfect every time. And he is every time, almost without fail, almost. Okay? He gets the screen protector on there, no issues. So I opened this up. The slide was still covered up. Nothing could have touched it. I opened the envelope up. I took out the screen protector. Was ready. Revealed, you know, lifted this bullshit off of it, took the screen protector, looked at the screen real quick, nothing on it, laid the screen protector on it, it went perfect. Then I turned it on, started messing with it, noticed something black under the screen that wouldn't wipe off, realized it was under the screen protector. Goodbye, screen protector. So I'm still like 2 or 3 for 100 on screen protectors. But let's get to this. So everybody talks about the size, all right? Now, if you guys recall, in my first video when they did, or my first video about the slide, when we actually got to see the slide, and they put out that teaser video of that girl sitting in a fake coffee shop, maybe? I don't know. Looked like a setting for a coffee shop. Anyway, she was holding the slide, and I was like, well, that looks pretty big. And all of us didn't want it to be so. We were talking maybe her hands are just small. I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's hope, but it looked pretty big. So everybody talks about the size of this. I obviously brought stuff to compare it to. So we're gonna start with some small stuff. MIU Mini. I mean, look at this size difference. Oh yeah, it's a thick one. Okay. Now, RG Cube. This is a lot closer. This should give you a good idea. So the RG Cube is a little bit wider, which is nice. Now, this is a lot thicker than the Cube, except for where the bump outs are, which this could really use some grip back here, which would just make it even bigger, but it could still use some grip. I'll be looking for stuff for that in the future. RP5. Look at that. Obviously, it's not, the RP5 is at its thickest point. Still slightly bigger, or the RP5 is slightly thinner at its thickest point than the RGSlide. Now, this was the one that got me. A comparison with my DMG. I mean, holy shit. I mean, it's roughly a DMG or an RG Cube. I mean, it's big. Let's adjust the camera here. Try and get this set up better. It's dark in my office. I'm shooting this as early as I can, so I have time to go over everything. But yeah, it's the Pocket DMG, but a lot heavier. I mean, oh god, the Cube is a paperweight in comparison. Here, let's do 34XX. You can get about, so lengthwise, 234XX. Widthwise, slightly bigger than 134XX closed. So let's fold that out. Let's see length. Yeah, so about 234XX in length. So let's open it up, and this is really satisfying. I love that. The sticks on it are roughly the size of the 34XX. They're not the same style. They feel a little bit better, because you guys know I'm not a super fan of the sticks on this. But these have a better rubber top to them, I guess. But they're about the same size. So hopefully some of these comparisons and the stick size right there, and yeah, the RP5 stick is bigger. Yeah, bigger sticks on the Cube. Slightly. I mean, they're small. Like I said, they're roughly the size of the 34XX. They might be slightly bigger, but they feel fine. Yeah. So, I know. I'm getting around to turning it on, but there's one thing I wanted to talk about, and sorry I have to pull it away from the screen for this. I had issues with one thing. When I picked it up, I got everything ready. I went to put the SD card in, right? And I want to do this here, see if maybe that was a fluke. And I am pushing it all the way in, as far as my nail will go, and it will not click into place. I mean, I can't get it. I had to do this yesterday to get the stick. I mean, it's either just out of reach for someone with about normal nail length, you know. I mean, I work and shit, man. I try to cut them. Anyway, so it's just out of reach. So if you do get one, you go to put your SD card in, do yourself a favor. Take one finger and cover half the slot, if you're using something to press it in, because if not, you know you're going to get almost there, slip off, and that SD card is going to fire off. And if you're like me and have my luck with this, you're going to think you know where it landed, and you're never going to find it. That SD card's going to disappear. So cover half of it, then poke it in there. All right, let's get this. Let's do a quick walk around here. So closed, R1, L1, R2, L2. You got these little plastic like stands, these little knobs that you set it down on so it's not laying straight down on the fan, so it can still get some airflow. There's your in and out for the air. This side you got volume, power. Down here you have 3.5, and you have your charging port and your light. Now I have to say that is annoying. That this was a horrible idea to get this over here, because while it's charging, my hand's right next to it, and sometimes I like to curve my fingers around and support a device this heavy, and it's right on the charging port. So if I'm charging it while playing it, it feels like I'm pulling sideways on the charging cable, and I always get that image that I'm going to snap that shit off in there. So moving around to this side, SD card. So pretty simple, and then you get the satisfying little click. You got your function buttons right here. I played on this yesterday for a few hours. I completely forgot about these buttons. I never used them for anything. Completely forgot about them. So start, select, kind of small sticks, good face buttons. They're small too, but not too small. You're not accidentally going to hit the wrong one. And Anbernic's typical D-pad. So, I mean, good D-pad. Let's get it powered on. There she goes. So I ran through the whole setup yesterday, and I need to do some testing on this, and I'm going to talk about it while it's booting up. After I got it set up, I had it connected to the Wi-Fi, all that good stuff. Yeah, see, it needs to connect to the Wi-Fi again. Anyway, I had it connected to the Wi-Fi at my house, which I have a TP-Link Deco system. Feel free to look it up. And my Deco system covers every inch of my house. Okay, even the basement, even my garage. You can go anywhere in my house, and you're still connected to the Wi-Fi. You can go down, you can go across the street, and you're still connected to my Wi-Fi. Not fully. I mean, a little weak at that point because you're shooting through a bunch of shit. I have 5 gig signal, of course, across the street. It's not hitting it. 2.4 is better for penetration, just a little slower speed. But 2.4, yeah, sure, I can get it at the end of my driveway, towards my neighbor's house, whatever. So back to the point. I was connected to this. I was sitting in my living room next to one of the Deco units. I walk into my laundry room, which, sitting in the living room, doorway, kitchen, doorway, laundry room, right? Gone. No, absolutely nothing. Could not stay connected to the Wi-Fi. It said it dropped the signal. Wasn't connected to shit. I'm going to do some more testing on that and let you guys know if that's an actual issue or not. But I thought it was odd. I didn't do any more testing on it. I just went back in the living room and continued what I was doing. So, damn, this thing's still too bright. You guys, let's see if you can see that better. Get this to focus. All right, that's a little better. All right, so I set it up, ran through it really quick, did the whole setup. Now, something about Anbernic and Android, okay? If you look at, and I'm going to turn you on too. Let's get it. Come on. There we go. And I'll do a side-by-side with it. But when it comes to Anbernic devices, they do have their own launcher. A lot of people are talking about, oh, it's getting better, it's getting better, it's getting better. I haven't noticed it improve in a long time. Okay. Now, the 35XX stock operating system has improved. That thing is awesome. There's no point anymore to really go out and get like MuOS for the XX devices. The stock is fine now. Unless you want something like MuOS. Anyway, when it comes to Anbernic and Android, those two, so any Android device Anbernic, and I started this with the 556. I didn't like Anbernic's front end. It's kind of a pain in the ass, and every time I go to have it scan or set up a file path, it does the same thing. It changes screens and goes back. Changes screens and goes back. Like, it's not allowed. It has all permissions. I've set this stuff up 1,000 times. It always acts stupid. Now, with that being said, eventually I'll restart the device and it'll act right. And it'll let me set it up. And that's probably just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just have horrible luck with it. So that's where my favorite comes into play. Daijisho. Love me some Daijisho, man. Every time with these devices, I start setting up the default. It acts stupid. I immediately drop it, move over to Daijisho. And it works wonderfully. These two were meant for each other. Now, I can tell you that on something like the 5, no, I don't feel like doing a system update right now. No. Let's jump into the Retroid launcher. 1 second, let me knock that down. Now, the Retroid Pocket 5 launcher, damn you, get dimmer, feels a hell of a lot more like, let me clear all that. Okay, sorry. This feels a hell of a lot more like Daijisho. I mean, this essentially is their version of it. And which is perfectly fine. I mean, come on. It's a good front end. It works. Why wouldn't you almost do the same thing? I mean, it's not like we can really do a whole lot different with front ends. You can make them look different, whatever, but you get the Daijisho feel, from here. But we're going to kill that. Okay. Back to the slide. I don't want to jump right into Daijisho. Let's do the drop-down menu here. So in the drop-down menu, when you get it, this is what everything on here. I didn't add any tiles or anything. I did last night, but then I took them away. So you get your internet, Bluetooth, landscape mode, or forced landscape, nightlight, which gives you that odd color. Anyway, RG launcher. So if you want to jump into the RG launcher, whereas Retroid just has an icon, you can just tap it, boom, Retroid launcher. This, you pull that down, you have the Anbernic launcher. Key mapping. Let's see. Let's kick that in high mode. See what it'll do. Fan. I just realized that last night I set all this up, fan to auto, all that, and it was off. Just now it was off. So every time you restart your device, at least for now, pull that down and check your settings in here if you have one of these, or if you ordered one of these, pull it down because it probably has your fan switched off. Just look, all right? And a lot like the 556 and everything else, I'm sure they'll fix that. They'll roll out an update. So here's your button layout mode. Of course, you get NS mode and Xbox mode, which I do prefer Xbox. So it makes every control scheme bass-ackwards. Do not disturb, airplane, screencast, screen record. Let's kick on the launcher. Okay, so now that I've highlighted the launcher, say it changed. Now I'm here. You get your emulators. Let me try and get. Sorry, guys. I'm looking around the camera, so sometimes I don't notice when it, doesn't do that. But scan. I can't scan. So I don't feel like running through like repair or reinstall. I'm not doing that. Anyway, so this is the Anbernic launcher, what it looks like on here. Same shit. It's been, it's been looking this way for a little while, so not real interested in it. Keep working on it, guys. But yeah, there you go. As soon as you turn it off, you're back here. So having Android though, you get to go through, get your Android games, all that. Now, as soon as you turn it on, run through setup, you will be greeted with the second page having all of this, except for PPSS, PP Gold. That's my copy of that. They had the regular PPSS, PP, which I always uninstall and put my gold version on. They're using Drastic for DS, Citra for 3DS, Aether for PS2, Dolphin. We got Dolphin and Dolphin MMJR. Duck Station, which no one can beat the Duck. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Duck Station. There's your RetroArch. There's all this stuff. So when you're running through your setup, you can either use the stuff that they've provided, like jump into their basic GBC emulator, set everything up, which I'm not going to run through right now. Let's kill that too. So, they're okay. They're okay. You can also, just open RetroArch, start loading some cores, and go from there. Which RetroArch was acting weird on mine. I would try to load a core, and it would just kick me back to the home screen. And I'd go back in, try to load a core, kick me back to the home screen. I mean, maybe this thing just wanted me to feel like this was my first time. And it was kind of, pissing me off. So, love you, Daiji Show. You're always there to save the day. And being this device, I will probably... Now, let me tell you this much. I know I'll go through Daiji Show and do a full setup. Retro achievements, add widgets, everything. Daiji Show will become my front end everything for this device. So, yeah. Now, when you get a new device, make sure you go to this area here and turn on your emulators, okay? Turn on Duck Station, turn on Aether, set the file path, load the BIOS. Do all that first before you start trying to launch shit from a front end. All right? Turn each one on individually. Run through some setup on it. That way it's ready. If you jump into a front end, not everything's going to work because you haven't set up the emulator itself. So new devices, do that first, okay? New Android devices, let me be clear. New XX devices on this shit's already done. Let's jump and check out some Android gaming. Now, a couple observations here. You guys know I'm a sucker for a good screen, okay? If I see a handheld come out and it's got a beautiful screen, I want it, okay? You can put out a $3,000 Aya Neo device. Look, the buttons move. I can pop this out just like controllers that already exist and move it here and flip it around and pop these out. But we're not going to update battery stuff. We're still going to let that shit last for 45 minutes. Ha! Anyway, you can release a $3,000 device with all that shit. I'm going to buy the device that has the best screen. If that shit's $3,000, I'm probably going to work on getting it because I love a good screen. Let me tell you, when the specs for this were announced, I was a little aggravated that I did not see any type of OLED, AMOLED, none of that. I didn't care so much about the 4x3. Okay, yes, I would like to see a 16:9. Specifically an XX model. Because if you go 16:9, I'm going to play PSP on it. So, of course, that's what everybody wants. What I was upset about was not having any type of OLED. That kind of pissed me off for the price of the device and everything. After using it for a night, I am not upset about the screen any longer. For those of you that don't want to buy this because it's 4x3 and not 16:9, and you feel like that ruins it, that makes it weird, it actually doesn't. The screen is good quality, good colors. The touchscreen works perfectly because of the size of this thing. Just the sheer size of it, how big this is. That 4x3 screen works. Okay? If this was a smaller device, and 4x3, I'd stay upset. But the size of this screen works. I mean, it's all there. So PSP, PS2, whatever, it's wonderful. You guys want the real complaint? The one thing I really don't like about it right now? It's not comfortable. It's really not. You have places to prop it up right here and here. You know, your fingers are back there on the L and R buttons. So you have that. You can put your fingers down here, which is going to cause pain right there. You have places to stabilize it, but it's not comfortable at all. Anyway, dead cells. Let's get it up close here. Dead cells looking good. And look at the colors on the screen. I mean, the red, the green, the blue, everything it's a very good screen. Let's pull out something a little more colorful, huh? Now, the resolution on Stardew Valley is a problem. Which it didn't do all this yesterday. But no, it's still a problem. Yeah, everything's really squished. And let's see. Yep. So, normally with Android devices, you load up the Android version of Stardew Valley. Shit works perfectly. Everything's sized right. But this is what you're greeted with for this. And this, I don't even think it's a device issue. I'm not sure what the hell's causing the problem. Damn it. Why do I keep hitting the same buttons? There we go. There is a slider bar to make all this smaller. So, once you get past the setup for your farm, you'll be fine. But you're going to be a little limited there. But what we're here for is not the gameplay. But just look how good. I mean, the screen is really actually pretty. Why do I keep hitting that button? The screen is actually really good. Let's do some sound. Alright, guys. Be prepared. We're hitting the sound. That's max. Not bad. I mean, it's not too loud at all. You can max volume that and you're still going to piss people off, but it's not overwhelming. That's like half and I can hardly hear it. So if anything, I'd put the speakers on the weaker side. You know, they don't get overly loud. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It doesn't need to be that damn loud anyway. It's fine. But yeah, I'd put them on the weaker side. So now let's actually jump into emulation 30 minutes into the video. Do we really need to do the simple stuff? Let's do the simple stuff just real quick. Look how good it looks. Yeah, I suck at that game. Don't. Shut up. Really close game? Yes, really close game. There we go. Let's do some GBA real quick. I would have done Game Boy Color, but I'm going to kind of skip and pick and choose here to not waste a bunch of time. I need to just set up retro art. Although I don't mind that little fast forward button up here. I do want... Let's turn that shit off. Okay. Oh, cool. It's still hotkeyed to R2. Oh, like I said, the screen is not bad, everybody. All right, we know it's going to play GBA, so let's get out of there. Why not? Let's find something that doesn't cause too many issues. Can we just kick on? Sorry, I can't show too much of that. Oh, wait, was I having... Oh, that's right, I haven't done that yet. Hold on, we're going to do 3DS in a minute. Okay. Let's do some GameCube. Now, keep in mind of this. Keep this in mind. Keep in mind of this. Well, I just spit shit out sometimes, but keep this in mind. That some of these games, since I just set this up, it's going to have to compile some shaders and whatnot. You can go out and get pre-compiled and download it, but I'm just going to let it do it itself. I'm not going to do that shit. Does GameCube just fine. Oop. All right, sorry, I'm getting lost in gameplay. So that maintained perfect 60. Runs great. Genesis, it'll run fine. Some of you have asked multiple times for a little love on the N64. You know what? I don't think I've ever launched GoldenEye on a handheld. This is interesting. I haven't played GoldenEye in I don't know how many years. 20 something. I was about to say, is this having issues? I know GoldenEye is normally problematic. Oh shit. Oh. Well. There we go. You ain't killing me. Okay, so 64 runs fine. I just need to. I need to do some. I don't know. Fucking GoldenEye. Let's throw DS at it, huh? I haven't really fully done Drastic or anything. Drastic or Citra. Yeah, I haven't really tested much on them. There it is. I did change the layout while I was setting up Drastic to go full screen. I'm just going to take a moment to say, for some reason, this menu on this screen, damn, look how good that is. But for, that looks good. Fuck you, Drastic. Okay. So we know that stuff's gonna work. PlayStation looks great. Super Nintendo looks great. Let's jump into some PSP. Give PSP a little love on the 4x3. I don't remember if I have the on-screen controls set to disappear after a minute. Obviously I don't. There we go. Vent. Come on, I want to just get to the gameplay to do the whole screen thing here. There we go. So yeah, with the way it's set up, you do get some black bars on the top and bottom. But when the hell don't you have black bars on the top and bottom? Either from the plastic of the handheld or what? I mean, come on. But realistically, I mean, the PSP works. It doesn't look bad on here at all. So as much as, I mean, I do still want, like I said, a 16:9 XX device. But this does fine. This absolutely looks, it's fine. Like every other handheld, and because of the size of it, it's wide enough to look good. All right, let's do some PS2. I threw a bunch on here, and I just realized I haven't played many of these games. I would do Final Fantasy 12, but man, Final Fantasy 12 for some reason is one of the easiest PS2 games to run. What's one I can jump into real quick? I don't know. Shit, I should have picked something I knew. Okay. I know Gran Turismo 4. That's what I know. The T820, let me put it this way. On my 556, the T820 ran Gran Turismo 4 just fine. The first time I played it on my 556, while it was dealing with shaders and all this good stuff, it did have a little issue. Like there was a hiccup there. After that, I've essentially played through all of Gran Turismo 4 on my 556 without an issue. Okay. Oh my God. Holy shit. Did you want my social security number, blood type, and, name of my first pet? God. That's what happens when you just press X, 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 X. I probably got a fucking Fiat or a Fiesta going against supercars. Oh, cool. All pieces of shit. Let's do it. So if you just rush through Gran Turismo 4, man, you end up in this race with this car. Come on. Thank you for the rolling start. Can we go? I'm being left behind at the rolling start. I don't remember. Is it select? Yeah, it is. Ah, it's running fine. I don't think it's going to stay running fine, but it's running fine right now. It's responsive. Nothing's really slowing down. Sounds not. Oh, there it is. Like I said, a little slowdown there. Decent slowdown. You can play Gran Turismo in slow-mo. Yeah, so it's probably going to be a lot like my 556, considering they're both T820s, where the more I play that, the better it'll be. So, I do yourself this, okay? For the T820, don't go into it thinking I'm going to play every PS2 game on the market without fail, without issue. I hate to say that's not going to happen. You're going to need the RP5, the 557, things like that. Okay? But a bunch of the games, okay? A bunch of the really good, like, right, there's a good example. A bunch of the really good games will run fine. So keep that in mind. Like, go down the list. What PS2 games are you actually going to play? Because if you see me play Gran Turismo 4 and you're like, oh, that's slow down. But you're going to play Final Fantasy 12. You're going to play, Dawn of Mana or whatever else is on here that's low rent as shit. You're going to be fine. And even Gran Turismo 4 over time will be fine. With some tweaking of settings, it'll run. Out the box experience is probably not going to be that. If you're not comfortable with tweaking anything, don't pick this handheld up thinking it's going to do everything you want it to right out the box. Go get yourself a Retro Pocket 5 or something, okay? So here's your 3DS. Get it up close. This will be the last system we're testing. Throughout the week, throughout tonight, I will do a bunch of testing on here. Shut up. God, I love me some Gunvolt, man. All right. So we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Mainly because in less than an hour, I actually have to clock into work, open up the office, and get things going. And I'm hungry as shit, so I'm gonna go find something for motherfucking breakfast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave you guys at that. Blame breakfast. That's what needs to happen. Also, something everybody else has mentioned, I'm also throwing it in. You can adjust how the slide action works, whether it sleeps, hibernates or whatever your screen when you slide it down. Honestly, I find myself in a situation that the screen turns off too frequently on most devices for me. Because I have kids and a family, so I'll set it down, I'll go do something, and as I come back, the screen will shut off. And I'm like, damn it. And not that it's a big hassle, but man, I don't want to deal with that. So normally I have my devices to where my screen doesn't shut off or it's at the max allowable time. I've already have my slide feature set that if I hit the power button, sleep my screen, and I'm like this, the only thing I have it set to do is on slide up, it wakes up and it should unlock, but it didn't, whatever. So I have it on unlock or wake up and unlock, but it didn't unlock, so whatever. Yeah, it's a nice feature, and man, that sliding function is nice. And if you ever look at the back of a PSP Go, this looks really familiar to you, the way this is set up. But they knocked it out the park. I'm very comfortable with the slide action on this. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with it in the future. I don't think it's going to do anything. Oh, first time pressing these buttons. Oh, I'll figure out what the hell I'm going to do with those. But, God, I love that. So size comparison. Yeah, it's big. It's big. But that size makes this 4x3 screen work. Even though it's not OLED, it is a really good screen. I'm not going to say it's better than this screen or this screen or this screen, comparing it to all non-OLED screens I own. I'm not going to compare it to these because, for one, there's a massive power difference between the two. And when I've learned that when I do a comparison like this, there's some clown out there that's going to be offended by something. And he's going to be like, how dare you? That's a $40 device and you're comparing it to a $200 device. What's wrong with you? And then I got to boot somebody else off the damn channel because obviously you're too stupid to be here. Anyway, it's a big boy. Let's go over the negatives really quickly. It's not that comfortable. All right. I haven't really sat down and had a long play session on it. When I said I messed with it for a couple hours yesterday, that couple hours was setup. So while it's running setup, oh, that part's done. Oh, okay. Oh, that's downloaded. Come back, do that. That was my couple hour experience with it. I will sit down today and go through some longer gaming sessions on it. But initial, feelings here, it's uncomfortable as shit. Not the most uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable. I don't think I can get a long PlayStation out of it. My hands are old. They hurt. The weight is not distributed evenly. You've heard other people say it's all up here, and it is. Obviously, that screen's really, really heavy. So, but, with your fingers back there, I guess that balance is right. It's this part down here. It's nothing to grab onto while all that weight's pulling against you. That's what's causing the problem. All in all, this is a really great device. If you want a PS2, 3DS, and GameCube player, don't get this device. You can get, if you still want a T820, you can get a 556. If you want something that's not really, that has all the power you need, the 557, granted, you got to deal with some issues on the 557. Go with the RP5. That's a good one. That just does everything. I'm very impressed with this still. If you really, really want a slide device, absolutely, this is your good budget slide device. Yes, I said budget at $200 because you can get an RGSlide, which didn't they sell it to Antec? So Antec, but RGSlide, and pay 4 times the price. So, does this hit that PSP Go nostalgia? No, it doesn't, because it's not that. So let's not compare it to that. I feel like I kept hearing it do something. Yeah, what the hell is that? Oh, that's it resting down there, huh? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, let's stop comparing it to the PSP Go. I know it looks a lot like it, but it doesn't scratch that itch. That is not what it is. It's a mediocre PS2 device. It's a decent GameCube device. It is not good for dual screen. So yeah, after more testing and later on, I will do a lot more and let you know my thoughts. But right out the gate, Anbernic, I do love it, but it's uncomfortable. It's underpowered. The screen, the size, the shape, the ergonomics suck. But you know what? All in all, I do like the device. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.